So I'm like, well, hold on here. Let's see what the cops actually say. So let's just take, for example, that he did time in Florida. In fact, if you actually interview Moore and Hughes, as I did, both of them dispute this. Which is weird, because like on TV it seems to sort of suggest that they didn't. But Sergeant Hughes said that Weber stated only that he had, quote, had served prison time in the South. Well, remember, this is New Jersey. South of New Jersey is what, like 48 states or something? Quote, I don't remember her specifically saying that he'd done time in Florida, just that he'd done time in the South. All right, we can interpret the South as several different ways. It might include the southern colonies, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland. Or, of course, maybe she meant south of here, meaning, 48 states. So again, well, hold on. Again, remember what I said about how psychic detectives appear to be correct. They say things that appear to be specific, but are in fact general. Nancy Weber says he did time in the South, and sure enough, the serial killer did do time in the South. That's not what she said in '82. That's not what she said, and furthermore, that's not what the police said. If you nail them on it and say, what exactly did you say? I have all this on tape, so Alex is going to have a hard time with that. Weber claims that the killer's brother owned or worked at a gas station. He certainly did. The problem is that, again, both police say that's not true. Interesting. Hughes remembers Weber's information differently. He said that instead, she told him that the killer himself, not his brother, was associated with a mechanic. Either he was a mechanic himself, or was associated with a mechanic. Whoa, hold on. We've gone from the killer's brother works at a gas station to the killer or his brother knows a mechanic, or went to a gas station at some point, or bought gas, or bought a Coke. I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is. And so, and in fact, interestingly enough, Hughes expressed frustration with the vagueness of her information. Now, again, this is being posited as like, oh my God, this is amazingly accurate. Hughes says, a mechanic or related mechanic. Where do you go from there? Exactly. So again, when I interviewed the exact same witnesses that Alex was sure were going to bolster his story up and down, they're like, well, that's not quite what they said. Weber claims that she specified that the killer's name began with a K. We saw that in the clip. Well, once again, the cops say that's not true. Airtight case is starting to have some of the air leaking out of it. Unfortunately for Weber, both Moore and Hughes dispute this. Sergeant Hughes says, quote, I don't specifically recall her coming up with the K. His partner, Captain Moore, remembers Weber telling him the killer had a hard K in the name. All right, okay, hold on here. The claim is that the killer's last name began with a K. One cop says, I don't remember her saying that at all. The other one says, there was a K in the name, so it could have ended with a K, or like it had a CK in it or somewhere. Again, the big claim is it's specific, the truth behind the facts. And with all these cases, we have three different people who I believe all of them are telling me the truth. I don't, I'm not about to call a police sergeant a liar. I assume he's telling me the truth. I assume that Nancy Weber's telling me the truth as she remembers it. I think Moore is as well. So it's not that any of these people are necessarily lying or trying to deceive me. And of course, Nancy Weber has a vested interest in, her story is going to be, it was very specific. And after 27 years, you retell the same stories. And I have a background in psychology, and I can tell you that numerous studies show that actually when you relate a story, you're not actually relating your memory, you're relating the last time you told the story. So the story sort of gets over and over, and it wouldn't surprise me that now they've told the story on TV a couple different times, that's what's going to happen to it. Oh, let's go on, shall we? It just gets better. Weber claims that the killer's last name ends with an itch, or an ish, or whatever else. No, the cops say that's not true either. According to Sergeant Hughes, quote, I don't specifically recall her coming up with the itch. Moore agrees. To be honest with you, I don't remember Weber saying the killer's last name ended with itch. All right. In this case, I'm going to believe the cops. I mean, given the choice between believing the psychic detective or the cops, I'm going for that. And all right, well, so just got two more here. Killer's last name is of Polish descent, or his last name was Polish. Both of them say, once again, that's not true. They said he was of Eastern European descent. Well, Polish certainly is of Eastern European descent, as is Czechoslovakia, Romania, Ukraine, Croatia, Serbia, Austria, Hungary, Belarus, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, and Bulgaria. In fact, the Morristown area, in fact, New Jersey has the third highest percentage of foreign-born immigrants. I mean, there's like, you can't throw a rock without hitting someone whose last name ends with H around there. Again, you see the exact same pattern. Her claim is, I said Polish. They're like, well, she said Eastern European. Well, you know, the wiggle room just goes the farther you go. And then, of course, there are also claims that Weber says that the man who did this, his first name is James. Now, in this case, Sergeant Moore agrees with Weber. He says, I do remember her saying that she said his last name, her first name was James, whereas Sergeant Hughes said, quote, she didn't have complete names for us. Now, in all these cases, who do you believe? We've got three different stories here. The psychic says, I gave this information. One cop says, I don't remember that. All I got to say is, if this is your best case, I'm not impressed.